or night, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're watching. So, this is WFSO reaction. So, normally I will put a different title every time, I talk about a Barrett bus breakdown video. But this one, I'm going to do the video. It's going to be titled, I think it's going to be titled, Trade Ideas by Bucks Fan, Volume 8. So, and you know how I feel about, some people think we're trade ideas. It's just not right. It's really not. So, what you're gonna see here is like the title you saw, Bucks could trade for Jared Allen. The crazy thing is like I will explain all that, and it just, at the same time, just doesn't make any sense. I just don't see it. But let's just hear his ideas, and I'll share my opinion.
All right. So with Giannis still not having asked out, we're gonna keep moving forward with trade ideas to retool this team around Giannis, with going with that potential possibility until we hear that he wants out. And so this is one idea that I've seen on Twitter. There's a great Twitter account that like almost every day posts different Bucks trade ideas, and this is one that I thought was interesting. Give him a follow if you'd like. He only has like 30 followers. I found him like a month ago. Kevin Rollins Jr. on Twitter, and this is one that caught my eye because.
Oh, you said Twitter. Okay. Never mind.
The Cavs, it seems like it's probably time for them to make some moves.
Hold on.
There's one that's out there.
I need to make sure I heard that name.
Like, he only has like 30 followers. I found him like a month ago. Kevin Rollins Jr. on Twitter. And this is one that I...
Okay. I'm going to do that for a second. I'm an idiot. Sorry.
Followers. I found him like a month ago. Kevin Rollins Jr.
Okay. Kevin Rollins Jr. Gotcha. Yeah. I'm about to say I do have X. I can understand why, people still call X Twitter, because that was the original name before Elon Musk brought it. It's kind of like a stupid idea to name it. Like, how you gonna name a talkative site called X? Because it's gonna seem everybody thinking, okay, X Reddit. See, I forget too much.
For Bucks trade ideas, and this is one that I thought was interesting. Give him a follow if you'd like. He only has like 30 followers. I found him like a month ago. Kevin Rollins Jr.
Okay. That's where the confusion was. Okay. Now let's look for them. Oh, first name popped up. There's two of them. Oh, there's. Okay. Oh, yep. Bucks fan that talks about Bucks, mostly Bucks trade ideas. Yes, Okay, I will follow him and I will check out his page. I live in the Fireside Farm. Probably just live in that area with all those like apartments and stuff like that. So yeah, well now he has 31 followers. So he maybe watching this video. You never know. When he sees it. Okay. I'm really going to save that for tomorrow, so we will talk about his trade ideas and if they make sense or anything like that. So you might have said call this like kind of a serious that we do like with people with trade ideas. Either they don't make sense, crazy, or is like WTF. So okay, moving on.
On Twitter, and this was one that caught my eye. Because the Cavs, it seems like it's probably time for them to make some moves. And there's one that's out there with Giannis for Mobley, which I felt like I recorded a video on it, then I was like, let me wait until like Giannis wants out before I keep pushing Giannis trade idea videos. Let's just, while we still know that there's a chance Giannis could come back, let's focus on retooling around Giannis. And so with this one right here, this is a wave that the Cavs will retool if Giannis were to stay, because with them seeing in the playoffs, Jared Allen sometimes with Mobley isn't the perfect utilization of resources. With how much Mobley's going to have to get paid after winning Defensive Player of the Year, with how well Donovan Mitchell's playing, how much he's getting paid, Garland, how much he.
Whoa. Oh, okay, never mind. I would think this was the Bucks saying, the tax space to apron space, and okay, I'm looking at it correct. So they do this move. They still have 16.5 million tax space they can spend, and if they end up hitting like the first apron, they can spend at least like a little bit over 21 million. So yeah, that's good. They still got cash throw around, and most likely, and happy to say they're not bringing Brook Lopez back. So hopefully that's true. But then again, these rumors out there, you never know.
Much he gets paid. Probably Jared Allen could be the odd man out, maybe Garland, and that could be a potential opportunity for the Bucks to take advantage of that. Especially seeing as $20 million a year, that's pretty team friendly in my book. That's paid less than Kyle Kuzma for a guy that, yes, he's kind of has a little bit of the Gobert syndrome where some matchups he can be a little bit less valuable as a guy with no bag offensively. I can't go bag like this because I'll say no bag when they say that about Giannis. Jared Allen actually has no bag, but unlike Gobert, he is like truly an elite lob threat where like you can throw the ball behind him. He has crazy long arms, and he actually has good hands to be able to catch and finish around the rim. And it allows Giannis to have a guy at the dunker spot, which basically is.
How are you gonna have two guys around the dunker spot? It doesn't work. That was like the 90s and the 80s type of thing. We had power forwards and center, like they got mid-range shooting, but they don't shoot threes. That's not going to work. So, just had to catch on to that. And the craziest thing is like, Bobby Portis? Sorry, y'all. Crazy things going on around here, like with flies. Yeah. Barrett got the look like he's looking right at it. Oh, crazy.
His whole prime, he's been paired with a shooting five, and that's been kind of the thought to have all shooters around Giannis. And that's what I prefer, honestly.
Yes.
I like to have spacing around Giannis, just modern NBA, all that good stuff. But I do think it's not like as necessary as the teams have been built around him. Like, I would have much rather the past few years be Brook and a defensive mobile big man a la a Jericho Sims off the bench, rather than Brook and Bobby, who are both guys that can't defend the perimeter, can't move their feet. So
you do got a point on that one, Barrett. But I guess like if they do like the Giannis and Jericho Sims like line up, like Giannis can pass the ball, so that would be something that probably would be a little bit of a difference. And he can take it in, and sometimes live it to Jericho Sims like what he does with like Kevin Porter Jr. So yeah, there's some good scenarios with that, and there's some bad scenarios like I just mentioned. Like you want people like maybe two people clogging the paint when it comes to like getting the rebound. That's one thing. But when it comes to offense, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it don't. But just right now, I could be wrong, but I just haven't seen it as of lately that's worked. But then again, you got a guy like Brook Lopez that he shoots and don't really takes it in until they ask him to. It's just like I mentioned in the last video that Brook Lopez will step up in the playoffs, but when it comes to season, it's like, are you kidding me? And this past playoffs wasn't no better. It was like worse. Real worse. So I'm just glad, they just let him go and all that stuff. So
So I don't feel like he only needs shooting bigs for sure. And Giannis has talked about, I think when he was doing, when he was doing the Twitter Q&A like a week or two ago, somebody asked him, do you like a 4 out, 1 in offense? Or do you have like having complete spacing 4 out around you, or do you like having somebody at the dunker spot? And he said that, yeah, he likes having somebody at the dunker spot to where, get into the paint, and you either are going one-on-one with your man, or if your man leaves you, you can just toss it up towards the rim for an alley-oop. And so it seems like Giannis wants to play with a true bona fide center and a lob threat, and this would give him the opportunity to do that, and it allows you to move on from Bobby. Well,
I didn't know that. I know he's like doing, the Q&A, and I just never like caught on to that, so I'm probably gotta check on this X page. So maybe I'll ask him a question. But I do have a question that I'm gonna ask him, but it ain't gonna have nothing to do with are you leaving or are you staying or anything like that. Just trying to like throw an idea at him. So maybe somebody probably answered that question or gave him that question already, but we'll see.
While getting something back. The problem is you're throwing away your last draft pick, and you're also getting.
Yeah, why you joining your last draft pick, and why you throwing Bobby Portis as well? I'm like, his defense actually is a little better. Not saying it's the best, but it's a little bit better, and it's like good enough. Okay, otherwise, Doc Wooden did that, crazy lineup in Game 5 that actually did work for the moment. But, I'm not going to talk about the results of that, and you already know. But, let's see. With Jared Allen, they said it'll be plus 5 wins, over 2 minutes, 0.85 offensive rebounds. So, offensively, sorry. So they'd be a little bit better offensively, but the defense will really increase. So yeah, you can still like have like a a dominant big that can like dunk and take it in the paint. You just gotta get that right one. That can do it all. Can also rebound. So there ain't nothing wrong with something like that. If you want to have like a dominant big man like around you. And yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. I think that's the only thing. Wait, had they? Oh yeah, they tried it once with Giannis and Greg Monroe, but then again, Giannis was the small forward. Then you had Jabari Parker at the power forward. So and Greg Monroe was at center. Like he was a good post scorer, good rebounder and stuff like that, but he didn't shoot threes at the time. Then they brought him back again, and I think a few years ago. Although it sucks that Coach Butler didn't play him that much, and it's like, are you kidding me? I don't know.
So getting more expensive with bringing back Jared Allen, and
yeah.
So would I do this? No. In a nutshell, no.
Thank you.
The salary wise, I could be a little bit more swayed depending on other moves that the Bucks make, and the draft pick wise, because those are the two concerns that I have. Throwing away your last first round pick for me, I'm not doing it if I'm the Bucks. If anything, I'll like trade it for other picks. Like if this were the deal and the Cavs were giving us back 2 second round picks, okay, cool.
Right.
But throwing it away just for a player in his prime, with where the Bucks are at right now, it doesn't make much sense to me. So I wouldn't give up this first round pick for Jared Allen. As much as I've always liked Jared Allen, even before the draft, I always liked him. I think he's a guy that he's just a great lob threat. He just has insane size, length, great rim protecting, all that good stuff, and it's gonna make it so you're more likely to be a top team in the regular season. Like it makes it much more likely where you could still finish like a 4 or 5 seed because Giannis and Jared Allen defensively. It's going to be like the Cavs defense was this year with Mobley and Jared Allen defensively. Although, at this point in their careers, Mobley's probably a better defender than Giannis. Giannis can still be near that level. And so, I think this wouldn't be the worst thing. I just think that the Bucks would have to find a way to go get other assets some other type of way, whether that's getting a pick back for Brook Lopez, getting a Dalton Connect back for him, getting a Jonathan Kuminga, you got to bring back something of an asset. But this could lead to an interesting identity for the Bucks, where you could, instead of going with kind of my idea of just young guys and shooters around Giannis, you could kind of go even more towards the Thunder style of play, which is really defense. The thing that has been maybe not overly, but like extremely valued is you need shooting everywhere. You need shooting everywhere.
Yeah, that's true because like the Bucks was known for defense, and they have decent shooting. Like the past maybe like what 2 years, we didn't have like that great of offense. It was always our defense. So we thought when we got Dame, we was going to be like a better offensive player because they needed offense because you had a defensive guy in Drew Holiday, and Drew Holiday was like kind of falling away, and he was not the great third option because he's just not built that way. But like I said, he made it to the All Star that year before he got traded. But the playoffs, just no. And plus, they talk about maybe Drew Holiday they'll bring him back for like for who? Because I know they threw the idea of like Kyle Kuzma and Pat Connaughton if he accepts this player option. I don't see it. I don't see it. But moving on.
But the Thunder are kind of showing, yeah, you need shooting in modern day NBA, but you don't need just like a bunch of sharpshooters everywhere. Like you look at what the Thunder are throwing out there, and they're the best team right now. You've got Shea, who can shoot a three for sure. He's a pretty good 3-point shooter, but that's not his strength at all. He's not like a marksman, high volume 3-point shooter. Lou Dort was a guy that was a liability from the 3-point line early in his career. He's developed a nice 3-point shot, but again, another guy that's like good if you leave him open, but not a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams, who is a sharpshooter, he is not a Ray Allen, but he's a sharpshooter. But then you go with like Chet Holmgren, very good shooting big, but then like Hartenstein, who doesn't shoot threes at all. And so I say all that to say like, well, they do have more of an identity of, and they're on their team is just defense. All those guys I mentioned are good defenders, or most of them are great defenders. And the Bucks could go to just straight up defense. We're gonna have Giannis, and we're gonna have defense all around to where our defense is gonna make us a solid team. Maybe you go like Ryan Rollins. Maybe you bring back Andre Jackson minutes.
Yes.
Ryan Rollins, Andre Jackson. You're gonna keep.
As y'all know, he's not a big fan of Andre Jackson Jr., and I still don't get why.
AJ Green out there for shooting, but Giannis and Jared Allen, to where that's a pretty solid defense, especially seeing as AJ Green isn't a liability shooting. And Jared Allen, to where that's a pretty solid defense, especially seeing as AJ Green isn't a liability shooting.
Go back.
Ryan Rollins. Maybe you bring back Andre Jackson minutes. Ryan Rollins, Andre Jackson. You're going to keep AJ Green out there for shooting, but Giannis and Jared Allen, to where that's a pretty solid defense, especially seeing as AJ Green isn't a liability shooting.
Okay, I get it.
Then you have Kevin Porter Jr.,
Kind of makes sense.
Isn't a liability at all defensively. Kuzma, I guess. I don't know. It's an interesting deal. It's definitely a guy that the Bucks should keep tabs on, but I'm just not throwing away that first-round pick without getting young assets. But like I said, if they made other moves that made this make sense, like getting Kuminga or getting picks in another deal, like
there is no way they're gonna get Jonathan Kuminga. No, it's not gonna happen. And plus, they ain't gonna be able to. They just got the books off of Brook Lopez. So why do you think they're gonna get a 6'8" power forward, and we're really gonna look for a center. So like I said, we're a coach and a center away from being great. So I said that all this year, and I'm still sticking to that. So either like if you don't get a and I did a last video, the crazy thing, like I added, Chris Paul in there, be his starting point guard, just have his final season in the NBA, play with the Bucks and do his thing. So in case you because at least you will have a true point guard, because that was what's also needed besides having Giannis take the ball. Because the difference was that championship team, you got your point guard, which is Drew Holiday. Then you got your small forward, that was Chris Middleton, that can take the ball down. Also, you got Giannis. So you got 3 out of 5 players that that can actually take the ball. I think DiVincenzo was okay at it too. But yeah, 3 or 4 players that can take the ball off, take the ball down the court, and can confuse like your defense. That probably would be something that that probably would work. But yeah, I'm against this trade too because one, no, won't give with it Bobby Portis. Like I say, he's getting a little bit better and better, and he's like on the verge, being in his prime. So Giannis, and maybe having like a big man that can like hang around down the paint can work, but I just got mixed reviews on that. No, times it could work, but mostly like I don't think it's gonna work. So that's my take of it. What do you guys think? Do you think this trade is like worth it, or you think it's ridiculous like I do? So comment below and let me know what y'all thoughts about it. Also, please like today's video. Also, if you want to subscribe, please subscribe. We're trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and when we get there, we will do a giveaway or a prize package. Who never knows? I will know when we get close to 1,000 subscribers. So, and plus, share the channel. Let people know we don't just talk about butts content. We talk about wrestling. We talk about Milwaukee development and comic book movies and TV news. Sorry, just nose is just itchy. And also, all that stuff, we do have like over 2,700 videos, so you can like check them out for all that content. So please share the channel, and don't forget to check out our website wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com for upcoming events in Midwest, meet and greets in Midwest, and a lot of stuff that's going on, like photos that we took at wrestling events and photos we took at Bucks events, and feels like these as well. And Mental Health Awareness Month, so please check on your friends, check on your family. They're gonna need you when they don't think they do. So check on your people. Thanks to Mike and Robin Thompson and Midwest Wrestling Collectibles for the sponsorship. Interested in wrestling members, check out Midwest Wrestling Collectibles on Facebook. Man up, woman up, face up. Until the next video, you guys have a good one, and see you later.